Hello everyone and welcome to Cardboard Chameleon by Daryl. Now this is an absolute magical masterpiece, I would say. There is so much magic that happens with just 6 cards. We're gonna take a look at what this trick looks like. Then we're gonna go over how the trick works very briefly, just so you know how it works, or if you already know the trick, but you just need a quick refresher. After that, we'll move on to the moves that are required to perform this effect, and then we'll get into the routine from beginning to end. Now, I will mention this is a trick that will require a little bit of practice, but with enough practice, you're gonna be able to perform this just as well as Daryl. Now, without any further ado, let's take a look at what you receive inside of your packaging, which is fairly simple. You have 6 cards, and these will be 3 exactly the same. In this case here, I have the 8 of diamonds, 3 8 of diamonds, and then I also have 3 jack of spades. Now, if we take a look at the backs of these cards, you'll see that you have a red circle back tally-ho, a green bicycle, and a blue circle fan back tally-ho. The same will be true for these 8s right here. You will have the same matching set of cards. The only thing you will need in order to perform this effect is going to be your own deck of cards. Now, this deck could be technically any back design that you want. The only thing I think would be better is if it doesn't match any of these. So don't use the blue, the green, or the red of this specific deck. As well as this, it is also optional to have a rubber band. That way you can keep your cards together. But if you don't have a rubber band, don't worry. We'll walk you through how to do the moves or what you need to do without the rubber band. So now that you know what you receive and what you'll need, let's take a look at what Cardboard Chameleon looks like. These cards here come and go, but before we get there, we're gonna get the cards shuffled, and these can be shuffled by your spectator as much as they want. Now, you will have to tell them that these are your chameleon cards. That's why they have the green back design. We're gonna get to those in a second, because before, we're gonna get your spectators to pick any card at all that they want. So as I do this, just go ahead and say stop. Boop, and we'll use this one, and then we just need one more, so go ahead. Stop. And right there. Now, again, any card is possible. It doesn't really matter. That's why you shuffle them. But we're going to use these 2 8 of diamonds and jack of spades. Now, because these are chameleon cards, they can absorb the identity of that card. And as you see, it now looks just like that card you just picked. But it's not just one, it's literally every single card. Now, the backs, because we didn't really do anything with the backs, they look different. And you're probably noticing these look exactly the same as those, but that's because these cards were actually intermingling with each other. And that's why they all have that same back design. But if you wanted to use, for instance, this back design, we could place it right there, and immediately it takes on that color, that look of that card. Of course, that doesn't really affect the face of the card. It only affects the backs of those cards. So we're going to place that there. And if you want to do it with the red, you can do it with the red. It just takes just a second. And immediately that card changes. Again, nothing happens to the faces. It's only to the backs. But if you want it to affect the faces, because we've been doing this with the 8 of diamonds, you could just bring them over here, give them a little tap, and they will absorb the jack of spades. Not one, not two, but every single one is the jack of spades. Again, the back doesn't really get affected at this point. Only the ones that were close to those. That's why these all look exactly the same. But in all reality, for instance, if we were to take this one here and place it there, or we were to take this one there and just place it right here, or this one and place it here, you'll notice that it just takes a moment and it absorbs that color. It just takes one little moment and it has that blue and, of course, that red. Now, at this moment, every single card is that jack. The ones with the red, the ones with the blue, and of course the one with the green. Now, if we wave here, nothing happens. If we wave here, nothing happens because that's just the jack. But if we wave there, that's when that one turns into an 8. So does this one, and so does that one. And that is Daryl's Cardboard Chameleons. In this section, we're gonna quickly go over the method and how this works. So this is in case you're just curious as to how this trick works, or if you want to recap. Maybe you haven't performed this trick in a couple months. Well, this section is just to refresh your mind as to how this trick works. So in order to set it up, what we're gonna do is I like to have blue, red, green, blue, red, green. And now this section here is going to be the 8 of diamonds. I put that on the bottom, and then I put the jacks on top. The reason I put the 8s on the bottom is because in my mind, I'm just going in sequential order. Now, I like to have the green on top because to me, chameleons are green. So that's why I like to have that one already on top. It kind of makes sense the moment you call them chameleon cards. It makes sense to your spectators. Now, I'm taking a little rubber band here and I'm putting it from one corner to the other. Feel free to use the other corner if you don't like the way your cards are going to load. But this is how you're going to have your chameleon cards set up. I'm going to put them face up just for now. And then you're going to need a deck of cards. You're going to take the matching cards, in this case the 8 of diamonds and the jack of spades, and we're going to put them just over one strand. Actually the strand that's closest to your spectators, and you're going to leave this here. That's going to leave that open so we can steal it after you get the cards shuffled from your spectators. So the cards are shuffled by your spectators, you get them back, you bring this here as you drop those and you bring them forward as you talk about the chameleon cards. Tell them we're gonna get to these in a moment. Essentially now we have the 2 force cards on top after your spectator has shuffled. We're then going to do an overhand shuffle. We're gonna start the overhand shuffle by taking half of the cards. We're then going to in-jog one card as we shuffle off the rest. One thing that Daryl likes to do is tap the deck here before he gets his break. So now we're going to bring this card above our break and we're going to force the 2 cards below our break using the riffle force. So we ask to say stop, they say stop. We put the first force card down. Now we're going to keep a break as we bring the deck together, as we riffle force again, bringing that card down, or forcing that card. We then tell them that they could have taken any one of these, but now we have those 2 cards in front of us. We're going to remove the rubber band, and we're going to tell them about the chameleon cards. Now when we squeeze, we're now going to do the move that shows every single card. So that's going to be a single card. We're going to steal it underneath. As we deal another single card, we're going to push off everything above the bottom card as we steal the bottom card and take the whole packet. We're then going to take that top card while keeping a break, and we're now going to do a top change as we do the next card. We're then going to transfer everything over as we bring it face up to start doing our frustration count. So we do it 3 times, 1, 2, and 3. Those 3 cards are going to go down as we revolve that card and then start the frustration count, but now to show the same cards match. So 1, 2, and 3. We're now going to do the Mexican style turnover section. So we're going to show this as it comes over. We switch, flip it over, this comes down, show again, show, switch as we turn over, as this one goes down, as we show again. We use this to scoop this up. Now we're going to square it because we don't want to flash those cards. So we square it as we adjust these cards to flash this here. From here, this is going to go into our fingertips of our next hand as we take this card and place it on top. We're now going to do the 2 for 4 count As we square this, we peel back the bottom card while pushing off the 3 cards. We're then going to put everything together as we just take the top card, and then we're going to put everything together as we push the top 3 cards and take the bottom card. Then this goes on top. We're then going to push off the top card as we take the bottom 3 as one and display both. We're then going to turn over as we pinch here to unload the 2 bottom cards underneath these 2 cards. As we flick here, everything gets put back together, and we take the top card and it goes on top of the card on your right side. We then take the next card and we're going to repeat the same procedure. So it's going to be the 2 for 4 count right here. Okay, as it coalesces, we then take again the bottom card as 3, as 1 I mean. We turn it over, we push everything underneath as we steal it, and then once again this goes all on top. These all revolve as we pick this up and we move from here to the jack, and we're now going to tap, and we're going to do that same count again that we did at the beginning. Okay, from here we then turned everything over as we go into the frustration count to show the 3 different backs. This time we don't spread them, we leave them on top of each other. You'll see why in a second. This turns over, we do frustration count to show all the same back here. This time we're not going to do the Mexican turnover, we're just going to reverse the order of these cards, and then once again everything gets squared as we move here. Then from here the hand goes palm down as we show where it's going to go, but then we realize we need to move it back. So this comes here as this moves back as we put it there, and we do that 2 times. So here, here, then we show that they all match. Each one goes on top of each other. This one, you're going to pick up and use it to scoop all the others. We're now going to show the top card and the bottom card of the packet. The moment it turns over, we push off the top card as we do that. We're going to do that one more time. And then we're going to show here as we just take, we show, we take, and now those will match, and now those will match. And that's a quick overview of how this trick works. Now, in case you haven't already, let's get into all of the moves that you're going to need in order to put this routine together. Now let's take a look at the moves we're going to need in order to perform this. I'm going to start with just a regular riffle force, so if you know that one, feel free to skip it. But we figured just for the sake of completeness, we'll show you how that works. So if we're going to be forcing the jack of spades, that's going to be on top. What we need to do is put it into the middle of the deck. In this routine, we're using a overhand shuffle as we in-jog one card here and we shuffle off the top. We're then getting a break right on there. So this is really the important thing that you need in order to successfully force a card. What that means is we can bypass all of that if you don't want to, and then I'll leave it face up so you can follow it. But all you have to do is just cut that into the middle and keep a break on that card right there with the pinky, as you see. And now it doesn't matter where somebody tells you to stop. As you riffle down, you're just going to cover everything as you let go and pick up on that card, on your break where you had. That will successfully force that card for you. Then, because you would have both cards on top, of course they would be face down so they wouldn't know. This is just so you can see. You tell them stop, they say stop, you lift up. Now, when you put this back, you keep that same break there and you have somebody else say stop, or the same person. Once again, it doesn't matter where they say stop, you're just going to pick up and put that card down. When you do it face down, it looks, say stop, they say stop. I'm going past you so you can see. And there, that's the first one, keeping a break, say stop, right there. That's the second one. And then we have forced those two cards. Now, once you know how to force those two cards, you're going to want to know how to load those cards onto the deck. So we're going to quickly do that. Doesn't matter how these are for now. We're just going to take a rubber band and place it from one corner to the other, and we're going to place the two cards that we're going to force into the corner. Then all you need to do is, as you pick this from the top, remember the opening is through the back, and you bring them close, you can lift up kind of like this, grip as you see here. I'm going to grip with my pinky as I bring the cards forward. Then I like to gesture like that as we move it. And that just kind of loads those two cards right on top. So let's see that quickly. It would be like this as we're talking about this. And then we load the cards on top. The next move we're going to take a look at is the display of all of them being the same card. So if we come down here, you'll have 3 of the same cards and then the 3 other of the same card below it. We're going to start with these in our hand. Now we're going to come and pinch on the side as if we were going to do an Elmsley count. We're then going to thumb off this top card, and we're going to do that and keep all of the packet underneath squared. So the first card is going to move forward. I technically move it slightly diagonally forward like this. Then we're going to bring that card back and we're going to slide it underneath the entire packet, and we're going to grab it underneath with our fingers. At the same time, we're going to take that top card as well. So at speed, we're taking the first card, we're depositing it as we take the top card as well. Now, if you're familiar with the Elmsley count, we're going to do a similar motion. We're going to push the entire packet here. We're going to push it by pinching and pulling with our fingers underneath and pushing with our thumb on top. At the same time that we do that, we're coming down with this hand and we're also depositing that card underneath as we take the packet of 4 cards. Now this top 8 is hiding all of those jacks. Then we're going to continue the count as we're going to take that top card. But as we do, just keep your pinky on there to keep it separated from the cards underneath. Because as you come to deal that next card, you're going to perform pretty much like a top change, where you're going to take that card as you take the other one. And then you thumb off the last one. Essentially, nothing has shifted, nothing has changed. The order of the cards have remained the same. So I'm going to do it one more time so you can follow it here. So we're going to take the top card forward, and I'm doing every single one in this diagonal motion. So top card comes down, steal it underneath as I take the top card again. Start doing the Elmsley count as I take that card underneath and take the top packet with the other hand. Then we're going to take that top card while keeping a break. We then do a top change as we take the last card. So if we were to count, you would actually count 6. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but in reality, we of course have those hidden underneath. This next move, it's really easy. So this one's called the frustration count. You may already know it. What's going to happen is you have the packet in your hand. You're going to come above it in biddle grip as you turn the packet over to show the underside. Then you turn the packet over again and you use your thumb to peel that top card. At the same time, we rotate that hand again to show the bottom card. I'm talking about the hand with the biddle grip. And then again, we rotate it down as we peel that top card, and we rotate the hand in biddle grip again to show that card. Essentially, it's giving the illusion that you've seen the backs of these 8s here, but in reality you haven't. You have been just seeing the back of this single card here. So that is the frustration count. If we do it at speed, it really looks like you're seeing the fronts and backs of those cards, when in reality, you have not seen the backs of these. The other thing that we will do is we will go from this frustration count into another frustration count. So from here, we're just going to turn the packet over into the hand. And then we'll go into the other frustration count. So it goes from here, we could rotate it, and then we go again. So you could practice just this as you show again. And all we're doing is going from showing all the same face to then showing all the same backs. Okay, so that's the frustration count. This is the 2 for 4 count that we're going to use a couple times in the routine. And what's going to happen is we're going to show this bottom card and this top card as if they were 4 cards. These 2 cards will remain hidden. And so how that works is we're going to hold these in our fingertips as if we were going to do an Elmsley count. And we take the bottom card and the rest of the cards go into the hand as if it was 1. We're then going to put everything together and push the top card as 1. So we're basically switching packets in our hands. Then we're going to put this back on top as we again push forward in the same Elmsley count style as we pull back the top. So all we're doing is switching this one for that one, this one for that one, showing only those same 2 cards, okay? So in reality, top card and 3. Now 3, bottom card. Top card and 3. 3 and bottom card. And that's it. Now we're going to take a look at the unloading sequence that's going to happen. So we're going to have 2 cards that are the same right on top. We're going to thumb it off to the side, the single card, as we take the bottom 3 as 1. So here we have the bottom 3 cards, and we're just keeping them together as 1. We're now going to turn everything over, and on our way back, we're going to pull back the top card and push forward the bottom 2 right here, okay? So we do that like this, like that. Now, you're going to hide that as you bring this underneath this packet and you steal everything underneath as you brush the top of the card, okay? So again, we're here. We're going to push over 1 as we take 3 as 1. And we're now going to come over. I'm going to kind of pinch it in this fashion here as I steal the bottom 2 underneath as we rub here. Okay. Then from here, we're just going to set that top card off to the side. This next one, if you're familiar with the Mexican turnover, this one's going to be pretty easy for you. We're going to end up with this card that will match this one there. So from here, I'll show you what the move looks like. We come over, we show that one, and then we also show this one here. And it kind of feels like all of these are green, but they're not. So the idea is we're going to have this top one there. We're going to come over, show the back, As we come over, it's going to go above those two, and we're going to switch them as we use the one we just switched it with to turn that over. The moment it turns over, we drop that card as we grab that card again and show it one more time. Then we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to come over, switch it. It's easier than the Mexican turnover. So as we come over, we switch it and we use it to turn it over as we drop that card, and then we show it again. Then we're going to use this card to scoop them together. So again, here we show, turn it over, show that, turn it over, show that, use it to scoop it up. This next move, it's also pretty easy. If we just do the move, it's awkward, but if we give it a reason for doing the move, then it's going to make sense, and you'll see that right here. So as you see, the cards are above or not close to the edge, and that's important because we're going to have these face up. We're then going to come with our palm down, grab the cards from above right here on the edge, pretty much as if it's a reverse Elmsley count. You see, Elmsley count, reverse Elmsley count. So we're going to come over and we're going to show the back of the card. So it comes from here, we're going to show the back of the card. Here, we realize we need to move that down, right? So once again, we show, we realize we need to move that down, so we just place it back, we move it back as we place it over. It gives the illusion that this is a green card, okay? So once again, right here, we show, we move, and we place. So it looks like that's green. And then we're going to do that again. So once again, we show, we place, bring down as we move it here. Show, place, as we move it down. This next move is going to show the fronts and backs of all the cards, and is going to make it look like you're showing jacks here with, of course, the green, and jacks there with, of course, the blue, and even the red. You can see the red. And it looks like they're all jacks, but really we have this. So this move is going to help us with that sequence. So at this point in the routine, you're going to have the cards in a specific order. They're going to look like this, and on the front, they will look like that. Now, when you do the move, this is the sequence you have to remember. So you don't really have to worry about how the cards are. This is just the sequence of the moves. So we're going to thumb off the top card, and we're going to turn over both packets. So notice here we're showing the bottom card. The moment we turn this face down again, we thumb off the top card as we kind of flick the cards together and we drop them. We're now going to do that one more time. So we're going to push off the top card as we turn both the packet face up, and the top card face up. Then we're going to once again turn everything face down as we thumb off that top card, and we thumb them off. That's giving the illusion that these two are jacks, when in reality one of them is an 8 and the other one is a jack. We're going to throw that here. Here we can't do the same thing, because if we do, we expose it. So what we're going to do is just show that first card, thumb off that one on that packet, and show the other one on the other as we drop. And so then that's it. Now you will have all the jacks on one side and then all the 8s on the other side. If you're finding this move a little bit difficult, the one where we're showing all these cards as being 8s of diamonds while hiding the ones underneath, here's one move or one replacing technique that you could do that's going to do the exact same thing, but it might be a little bit easier for you. And this is what that looks like. So instead of doing them like this, we're going to do it in this way. And so we're just showing all of the cards as if they were the 8 of diamonds, but through a biddle grip position. So we're going to start in the same way. These 3 will be on top, the other 3 will be underneath. We grab in biddle grip from the top. Now I'm going to thumb off the top card. The same thing is going to happen. We're going to deposit that card underneath, but it's not going to be squared. In fact, it's going to be slightly side jogged. Okay, so it's going to almost be slightly here. They won't be able to see that because you have your hand covering on top. You're then going to thumb off the next card, and you're now going to, as you come to grab the next, you're going to put those together as we take that whole packet as one. So that's technically the 3 jacks and the 8 of diamonds. Then we're going to, again, thumb off the top card, but this time we will keep a break. And then we're going to come over, and as this comes over, we're going to steal that card from under the break as we peel that card onto the packet. And then we peel that card back. As you see, nothing changes, everything stays exactly the same. I'm going to do it from this side here so you can follow it. 1, steal underneath but side jogged as we take the other one. Now is going to match the side jog as we take the whole packet. Then I'm going to take that top card while keeping a break. Then I'm going to steal the card above the break as I thumb that card onto the packet, and then I will thumb the card back onto the packet. When we do this at speed, it looks like this. And it just shows 6 cards as if they were all the same. Now we're going to go over the entire routine from beginning to end. The setup for this, the way I like to have it set up here, is I start with blue 8, red 8, green 8, and then I follow the same colors with the jack of spades here. So it's going to have that same sequence of colors. Then that is what gets placed in the rubber bands like this. And then the 2 force cards that match, the chameleon cards, get clipped in one corner. This back corner here stays open, and this is the opening or the side that is towards me. So that could be either off to the side. Technically, this side makes a little bit more sense for me because I grab the cards in this hand and I can bring this together like that. So you want to know how you're going to be loading those cards onto the deck after you have your spectator shuffle the cards. That's why you have those cards there. Now, if you don't have a rubber band or you don't want to have your spectator shuffle the cards, maybe you want to start with the cards already on top and you do like a shuffle that keeps those cards on top. This is completely up to you. That way you can immediately get into your force. That's going to be up to you. This is the way that Daryl performs it. And so he would have the cards shuffled by the spectator, and then once he gets the cards back, he takes the packet of chameleon cards, and this is when he brings attention to them, and this is where the load is going to happen. So as this comes over, if I squeeze slightly, you'll notice that those cards will separate, and you want to do that squeeze as you're coming near that deck and you bring the cards up to your fingertips. So at speed, that load should look as if you're just talking about those chameleon cards, and we're going to bring the attention to them later. Then the way he likes to set up for the force is by doing an overhand shuffle. Because right now we have those 2 force cards right on top of the deck, we're going to shift the deck into overhand position as we take about half of those cards. We're then going to in-jog as we shuffle off 1 card, and that's going to give us the break to force those cards later. We then continue off that shuffle, and Daryl likes to, at this moment, pause and square the deck on the table. This does 2 things. It makes it seem like there's no way you could have a break, but it also breaks it up. Now, as you come over, You just need to get rid of that card. So because they know that these cards are messed up, it makes perfect sense for you to now come over as you square the cards up. You move that card up as you get a break underneath it. So this is keeping a break on where those force cards are. You then go ahead and do 2 riffle force, so you ask your spectators to stop anywhere they want. Doesn't matter where they say stop, you're going to cover everything as you lift up where that pinky was. So that's your first force card. You're then going to put the cards back together while keeping that break there. Feel free to do any sort of movements here, so it seems like you couldn't have a break. And then you have your second spectator call stop. They say stop, you stop. You now here tell them that really any card could have been possible. That's technically why you had them shuffle the cards in the beginning. In this case, we're going to use the Jack of Spades and the 8 of Diamonds. Now, this is the orientation that I like to have them. I always have the 8 on my right and the Jack on my left. But you might find, if you maybe are right-handed or you like doing it the other way, that you want to have it the opposite way. Regardless of how you have it, everything will be exactly the same. We'll now remove the rubber band as we talk to them about the chameleon cards. Come over, and as you squeeze them as if they absorb, we're now going to do the count that's going to show these as all being 8s of diamonds. Okay, from here we're going to go into our frustration count, showing the backs. So here we're going to show 3 of those cards. As we lay them down, we flip this packet over and we go into the frustration count that shows the same back designs. Now we're going to go into the Mexican turnover sequence. We're going to show this back design here as we switch it with that one, as we drop it. Show it one more time as we switch it and drop that one as we show. Then we take this to scoop it all up, square it up as we adjust here to flash this back design. From here, it immediately goes into Emsley style position so that we can go into our 4 for 2 count, which will start with these leftmost card. It goes on top. Now, I like to immediately, as it closes, go into the count to show that move. Then we're going to close it up as we peel that top card and show our 3 cards as one and steal those 2 underneath as we show. Then I close everything together as I take that top card and place it on top of the rightmost card. Then we're going to do the same sequence again, but with this card. So we're going to do our 4 for 2 count right here, close everything off, switch again, as we drop all of those directly underneath. Now we want to make sure that we don't accidentally flash those cards as we do the move. So it comes here, here we show, come over, then we place on top there as we throw that here. These all get turned face up as we do a little spread. Now we're going to really paint the picture of all these cards being the 8s and coming really close to those 8s. And we tell them, but that's because we absorb the 8. If we move over here, we're now changing the scenery, the picture, and as quickly as possible we tap and immediately show those there again. As we start doing that count that shows all of them as being the jacks. We're then going to now turn everything over as we do the frustration count that shows all of the different backs here. This time is going to be a little bit different. As we drop these cards, they won't be separated because we'll do that in a second. This is going to be turned over as we then show everything, as we do the frustration count to show the backs. So now we're showing all the backs are exactly the same. Here, we're not going to do the Mexican turnover sequence we did. We're just going to reverse the sequence as we pattern, and we tell them about that card. So we just reverse the sequence here. Once again, we square everything up as we use our fingers and this to flash that card. Now, we want to make sure that we leave room here Because if we have it here, this move wouldn't make sense. So we want to make sure we're doing everything in the middle of our workstation. From here, we're now going to grab the cards in what seems like a reverse Emslie count. Emslie is like this. What I mean by reverse is this way. So we're going to come over in reverse, and we're going to place the card exactly where we will leave it. We're trying to burn an image of this red here. Then we notice the card is not there. So we're going to turn that over again as we bring this down to put it exactly how it was before. Okay? Of course, that's now the same color here. And we're going to do that one more time. So once again, we come from above. We turned over. This is how I'm going to place the card. So, but I can't because it's not there, so I bring it over and then place it. It gives the illusion that that's a blue card. I mean, a red card. So here's what it looks like. You show here, and then it looks like that should be red, but it's already there. This one, the reason we leave it for last is because there is no change here. But as we bring it over and we start doing the change there, it's giving us time misdirection for this one to also seem like it changed even though nothing actually happened. From here, you could do two things. You could pick this topmost card, scoop that up as you scoop everything up. Or, if you want to save a little bit of time, you could take this, throw this on top as you scoop everything up. That's going to do the same exact thing. We're now going to go into the same display that we did to show all the cards being two different ones, but all being the same jack. So from here we show, so we take the top card and we turn it face down. We now thumb off that top card as we brush them together. We drop that down. We then thumb off the top card as we show that bottom card as well. We're just turning this top packet over. We're now going to thumb those over. This last one is a little bit different because we can't split it. If we do, we'll show that. So what we have to do is turn the hand over. Then we're going to thumb off the top card and drop that one as we show this one on this side. And we drop that. So at speed, it just looks like you're seeing both cards. One of them, you're seeing it on top of here. So the image is right on top of here, as the other one is right here. And then that's pretty much it. Now, if you want, you could say, if I do this, nothing happens. And that's just going to make it seem like these are also jacks. So, once again, if I do this, nothing happens. Look, I do this, nothing happens. They stay jacks. Now, they're going to think the same thing here. But if you do this, then this one changes, this one, and this one changes. And that's pretty much the routine. Now, if you leave them as they were and you just pick them up, technically they will be already reset, ready for you to go. Again, all you have to do is place the little rubber bands and you're now ready to, well, technically if you want to start with the 8, you would reverse it. I would technically go like this. And now I am ready to go again. There you go. That's Daryl's Cardboard Chameleon. I had an incredible time learning and practicing this effect. Of course, I know that there's still, my handling is not perfect or as good as Daryl. I encourage you, if you can, search out Daryl performing this effect so you can see the masterpiece and how he does it. It's absolutely beautiful. Once again, when he teaches this, he does say that this one will require a little bit of practice. So do expect to put in a little bit of practice with these counts, with these moves. But once you do, it's definitely an amazing magical routine where tons of magic moments happen right after the other. And then everything at the end is completely examinable. I want to thank you so much for picking this up, for putting in the practice, and for sharing the magic with the world. Once again, I'm Javier Fuenmayer from Murphy's Magic, and we'll see you next time.